Hello, today I'm going to show you how to install Windows 7 to a virtual machine here in District 207. So we're going to go to the Start menu, All Programs, come on down here to CTE Software, and find Oracle VM VirtualBox. Click on Oracle VM VirtualBox and open up the software. Once you've opened up the software, we're going to create a new virtual machine. So I'm going to hit New. The name of this new virtual machine, because I'm installing Windows 7, I'm going to go ahead and call it Windows 7. But it needs to be different than any other name of any other virtual machine that's been created on this computer. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, like, Reichelt. So maybe put your last name here just so the name is different than any other name of any other virtual machine that's on this computer. Even if you don't see it here, this still has to be different. The version needs to be changed to Windows 7 32-bit. So I'm going to change that version to Windows 7 32-bit right there. I'm going to hit Next. Now the amount of RAM that I'm going to give this is 1024. That's the base amount of RAM or memory that you need to give Windows 7 one. So 1024 megabytes should be good. I'm going to hit Next. I want to create a new virtual hard disk. That's the default one. I want to make sure that that's there. VDI is good, so I'm going to make sure VDI is checked. Good. Dynamically allocated. That really needs to be checked. Really important that this one is checked right there, dynamically allocated. Next. Now this is key right here, the Windows Location and Size menu. I click on the little folder with the up arrow, and I need to browse to the iDrive. You should have something called the new volume iDrive. Now mine's over here. For students, students have to access the iDrive from up here, but you're going to click up here, and you're going to find the iDrive in here. Click on the iDrive. This name right here needs to be unique, different than any other name of any other virtual hard drive that's listed in the new volume iDrive. So there's no virtual hard drives that have been created yet, so this is obviously a unique name. Make sure you have .vdi at the end of it and hit Save. So we can tell that this is in the right spot because it's I:/ and then the name of my file. 25 gigabytes is perfect, and so I'm going to hit Create. Now that I've created this virtual machine, there's still not an operating system installed on it. You'll notice when I double click on it, just nothing really happens. So what I need to do is I need to select a startup disk. So in a startup disk is going to be an ISO file. An ISO file is like a virtual CD-ROM or a virtual hard drive. So this would be the same as taking a CD-ROM or a DVD-ROM and putting it into your computer. I'm going to click on the little folder with the up arrow. I'm going to browse to the share drive. Now you guys have to come up here and find the share drive. I'm going to go to the share drive. I'm going to go to Main West, Students, AAT, A+ Computer Repair, and I need to find the Windows 7 Ultimate. It's a .iso file if I scroll over. So if I hover over this, notice it says ISO image. This is perfect. EN Windows 7, this is exactly what I want. Click Open and Start. Now you notice that this just minimized on me. I'm going to come over here and click back. You notice it says the auto capture keyboard's turned on. We can go ahead and close out of that. So you can disregard that. And we want to just have this kind of sitting right up here. Now the installation process is going to take a little bit of time. It's not going to take a ton of time, but it'll take a little bit of time. If you ever get anything that pops up here like this, we can always just click that X, or even better, we don't want to ever show that message again, so we can click on that. I'm going to hit Next, and I want to install Windows 7, so I'm going to hit Install Now. So now the setup is starting. This will only take a second. I'm going to accept the terms of the license, hit Next. I need to do a custom installation because we can't upgrade because there's no operating system that's currently on this virtual computer that's just a blank hard drive. So we need to install the install from scratch. I'm going to click on that. Notice this is our virtual hard drive that we created just moments earlier, and it's 25 gigabytes, the exact same size that I set it up. I'm going to hit next, and it's going to start the installation process now. I'm going to pause my video because this is going to take about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll resume it as soon as you have to hit another button. Now at this point, my virtual machine has pretty much finished installing. It's going to say restarting in 1 seconds. There's going to be something that pops up on the screen that says press any key to boot from the CD or DVD. Do not touch anything. If you touch something, you're going to have to restart the installation process. So you just kind of let this go through. You don't touch anything, and then Windows is going to start up for the first time, just like mine is doing. From now on, when you launch your virtual machine, that little press any key to boot from the CD, DVD, ROM, that will pop up. That's because you have inserted into your virtual computer this virtual CD, DVD, ROM that ISO file, which is like the Windows 7 installation disk. You don't want to ever boot from that, because when you boot from that, the computer's going to think that you want to reinstall the operating system, which you don't. So every time that you launch your virtual machine, don't press any key when it's booting up. You just kind of let it go. All right, so again, when you boot up your computer for the first time, it's going to go really slow. As you notice, mine is currently updating the registry. I think it's going to restart again right here. So just be patient and give it some time. Whoops. I'm going to actually go ahead and pause mine right now. Oh, it's going right here. Still completing the installation, which is good. I think that there's going to be one more restart. Again, it'll say press any key to boot from a CD or DVD ROM. You just don't hit anything during that time. All right, previously I paused the video. I just went ahead and resumed the video because the virtual computer, not the actual computer, but the virtual computer restarted, and it's booting back into Windows now. So I want to just go ahead and continue the video so that you can see exactly what I see and just follow along with this video. Yours actually might install a little bit faster than mine because I have the recording software running at the same time I have VirtualBox running. So the actual computer has to do multiple things. It has to run the host machine or the virtual machine as well as the recording software, where yours only has to run the virtual software. Again, you don't have to hit any keys right now. You just kind of let the computer do its thing. Setup is checking video performance and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of let it be. Now, once we have successfully installed Windows 7 to a virtual machine, we actually want to, okay, so first let me type in my username. I'll just go ahead and make mine G Reichelt. You can make yours whatever you want. It just needs to be unique. So obviously yours should not be G Reichelt. So make a unique username. I'm actually not going to hit a password, type in a password, and I do not want to activate. We're just going to not enter in a product key. When you don't enter in a product key, the Windows 7 will give you 120 days before activating. So just go ahead and hit next. We are going to actually ask me later. I don't want this to download any updates. If it does, it's just going to be really slow. This is actually key for if you're in like a networking class. Your server and your client machine both have to have the exact same time, so make sure that you're on Central Time Zone. Hit next. This needs to be a home network. That's going to make networking in all of your classes a lot easier, so make sure that you choose Home Network. and then just go ahead and let it apply the settings. As I was saying before, when we install after we completely install Windows, we need to install some virtual machine software to Windows so that it functions a little bit better. And I'll show you how to do that as soon as Windows has finished installing, which it's doing right now. It's finalizing the setup. Go ahead and pause the video right. Oh, perfect. So this installed. So it looks like I have Windows 7 successfully installed now. That's awesome. But there's a couple things I need to do here. First, I'm going to go up to Devices, and I'm going to go to Insert the Guest Edition CD image. This is going to make the virtual machine run a lot smoother, a lot better. So now that I've inserted that, you might get a pop-up, you might not. It looks like I did not get a pop-up. That's okay. I can just go to Computer, and it's actually right there. So I can just double-click on this. And I want to run, because this is on a Windows 7 x86. x86 is 32-bit software. I can go ahead and run this. Or you could just run either one of these would actually work. But I'll go ahead and run this. I noticed it popped up down here. I'm going to hit Next, Next, Install. And this installation is going to, I want to trust, install. This will allow the virtual machine to run a lot smoother, a lot better. So this is the first thing that you should do anytime you create a new virtual machine and install an operating system to it for the first time. All right, awesome. I'm actually going to reboot later, so I'm going to hit that. I'll hit Finish, close out of there, and I'm pretty much done. So I can go ahead and shut down my virtual machine, and it's just going to shut down the virtual machine like it would shut down any other computer. Now, before I end this video, I want to demo how to create a save state, and just so that if anything ever happens to this virtual machine, we can go back in time. So I'm going to create a snapshot right here. I'm going to click over on snapshot, and I'm going to take a snapshot right now, and it's going to be called right after install. Then I'll go ahead and put today's date, which is the 20th. So now, if anything ever bad happens to this virtual machine, I'll be able to restore by clicking on the snapshot right there and clicking on this button, restore the machine back to this time. And all of the settings, everything will just go back to this point in time. You can take as many snapshots as you want. But now, in order to launch this this virtual machine, I never want to see that again, so I'll go ahead and click on that button. You can just double click on the virtual machine and it'll launch just like normal, or just like a normal Windows 7 machine would. It kind of has to go through the entire boot process. Well, that's it. That is how to install Windows 7 to a virtual machine and how to create a new virtual machine in general. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, obviously just let me know.